want to begin by welcoming each and every one of you. We've been told numerous times that the traffic coming in tonight is horrendous, for lack of a better word. So thank you for being here. I also would like to acknowledge Reverend Deborah O'Geest, who was incredibly instrumental in amassing this group of people here tonight. So thank you, Deborah. And to each and every one of our Interfaith guests that are here tonight, I'd like to welcome them and thank them for taking time out of their schedule to be here and to share with you. You may or may not know that it was actually the United States Congress that designated World Day of Prayer so that Americans, regardless of our faith, could come together to pray not only for our nation, but for our world, for our communities, for our homes, and for ourselves. So tonight as we begin, I invite you to stand. And we've adapted this prayer that is known as the prayer of St. Francis that says, "Make me an instrument." I ask you to join me in this prayer as soon as we can change the screen here. There's somebody, Reverend Christy Corna. There we go. Together. Make me an instrument of peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is likeness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. Make me an instrument of peace. And before you are seated, I'd like to invite you to just turn and welcome someone tonight. Just give them a warm welcome. Thank you for being here. Wherever you may be coming from, we want to welcome each and every one of you here tonight. Welcome. And thank you. You may be seated. Tonight, you hopefully have received a program. If not, if you raise your hands, I believe one of our ushers can get one of those to you. But this will just allow you to know each of our presenters will be introducing themselves. Each of us are going to hold ourselves to about 5 minutes so that you'll be able to just experience every person and still not be here so long that you get bored by the last person. That's our commitment to one another over here. I'll begin with just telling you a little bit about unity. Again, I welcome you. And unity is a positive path and practices for spiritual living. Unity is rooted in mystical Christianity, but it branches into the spiritual truth that is found in many different sacred texts and religions. Unity is founded on oneness. That means oneness with Creator, God, oneness with one another and all creation, and oneness with our own divine nature and our own divine potential. If I had to point to one scripture or text to explain what unity is founded on, I would point to the one that you can find not only in the Bible, but you can find in every sacred text or tradition, and it's known as the Golden Rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The key therein is because it involves our being and our doing to be a presence of love. The best way perhaps to explain it is by story. There's a true story of a man who moved into a new neighborhood. Every morning he would take a walk and he noticed there was one particular lawn that had an incredible flower garden. Every morning he would stop and stand and just take in the beauty of that garden. It became a bit of a ritual for him in his morning walk. And one morning while he was there, he saw a lady, probably the woman of the house, who was working in the garden. And he spoke to her and he said, "Hi, I'm a new neighbor. Is this your home?" And she said, "Yes, it is." And he said, "Well, every morning I enjoy this beautiful garden that God has established and is growing." And she said, "Well, thank you. And you should have seen this garden when God was the only one tending to it." We share that story a lot in Unity because it reminds us we are the light, we are the salt, we are the ones that are here to be that. And so we share that with you tonight, and each minister or speaker from their tradition will begin to share in just a few moments. But I invite you first to enjoy this song by Sarah Core.
our sisters and brothers who walk beside us. We are beloved partners who are our mirrors and our teachers. We are every man, woman, and child who lives upon this earth. We are the trees that are rooted firmly into the earth. We are each flower that opens to the sun. We are the majestic mountains that reach for the sky. We are the sacred earth that we walk upon. For we all are one, for we all are one, for we all are one, there is no separation. For we all are one, for we all are one, for we all are one, there is no separation. We are the suns that warm the earth. We are the moon that governs the tide. We are the stars shining brightly in the sky. We are the universe that lives within every cell of our bodies. The winged ones that fly in the sky. We are the wild horses that run free on the land. We are the great whales and loving dolphins. We are the wolf, the deer, and the bear. For we all are one, for we all are one, for we all are one, there is no separation. For we all are one, for we all are one, for we all are one, there is no separation. We are all great beings of light, shining in apparent darkness. We are all love, joy, and peace, the truth of who we are. We are all part of the divine, living in a human body. We are all one with God, His beloved child, perfect in His sight. We claim who we are with every breath that we take. We love everyone, knowing they are one of us. We take care of our beloved earth, knowing that we are all one with it. We live love and give love to all. We see God in everything there is. For we all are one, for we all are one, for we all are one, there is no separation. For we all are one, for we all are one, for we all are one, there is no separation. We are one. We are one. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Oh, that was lovely. Lovely, lovely. It made me get teary, so I'm probably going to get teary again here in just a minute. My name is Caroline Young, and I am the spiritual director of a Buddhist Sangha in West Asheville. I'm also the director of Carolina Memorial Sanctuary, the Conservation Green Cemetery next door. When Siddhartha Gautama sat under a Bodhi tree over 2,600 years ago, he was determined to find a way to alleviate suffering of all sentient beings. We know that he was successful in finding an answer. At that moment of understanding, he became the Buddha, the awakened one. The remedy he discovered for how to end our suffering is not easy and not one he could administer to others. He could only point the way. We each must find the cure for ourselves. The Buddha understood that all sentient beings are connected. All beings wish for happiness and its causes. We all wish to be free from suffering and its causes. And we wish for ease and for peace. To experience success, as Gautama Buddha did, in awakening to the interconnectedness of all things, we must first awaken to the loving kindness and compassion within our own hearts and minds. It is taught that every sentient being already possesses these qualities, that we are already awake, that we already have a Buddha nature. But what has happened is that we have covered over these precious gems with postures, with beliefs, with habits and conditioning, and with karma. The cure to end this delusion that shrouds our heart and mind is learning to uncover loving kindness and compassion, which has the power to heal ourselves and others and to unite us all. The action to take is to create new habits, make loving kindness and compassion towards all beings our new way of thinking and living in the world. So look around you at all of the beings here in this room. And some beings are so tiny that we can't see them. Some here may be suffering with heartache or illness. Some here may feel joyous and open. Some may feel lonely or fearful or without hope. And now, if you're willing, place one or both of your hands on your heart space. You may leave your eyes open or close your eyes and breathe deeply, connecting with your kind, loving heart. And then breathe normally, listening to my words. May you and all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May you and all sentient beings experience happiness and its causes. May you and all beings experience ease and peace. And now take another deep breath and open your eyes. So the trick is to teach yourself to open your heart and your mind and see that just like you, every sentient being wishes for happiness and its causes. And the way to awaken loving kindness and compassion in someone else is to show them loving kindness and compassion. In Buddhism, there is the ideal of a bodhisattva, one who seeks enlightenment for the benefit of all beings, not just for the individual single person. The goal is to awaken bodhicitta, the enlightened and compassionate and loving kindness in the heart and in all sentient beings, And so I offer you to this bodhicitta aspiration prayer. May bodhicitta, precious and sublime, arise where it has not yet come to be. And where it has arisen, may it not decline, but grow and flourish ever more and more. And now, as long as space endures, as long as living beings remain, may I too abide to dispel the misery of the world. And also in Buddhism, is a practice at the end of a service of giving away. And so I'm going to give away something. And this is offering to others any merit for the that is accumulated for the expression of kindness, compassion, patience, and generosity. So tonight I offer the merit of this teaching, this life, and all good acts to each of you and to all beings in all worlds, so you may realize truth. And may you awaken to loving kindness and compassion and experience the many ways in which we are all united with all beings. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Reverend Terry Davis, and I serve as the minister at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Hendersonville. I want to thank Reverend Deborah for inviting me to join all of you in this interfaith prayer service. Unitarian Universalism is a faith whose roots are in Christianity and whose beginning dates to the 1500s in Europe. Today, our living tradition draws from many sources, both religious and secular, to inform our moral and ethical teachings, to inspire our individual journeys of spiritual growth and renewal, and to guide our collective action for justice and peace. Unitarian Universalism is sometimes known as a religion of deeds, not creeds. This means that we welcome your right to believe in God, the divine, or whatever that guiding force or principle is that brings deep meaning to your life. We only ask that your belief also respects others and their right to a responsible search for truth and meaning. Deeds, not creeds, also means that what holds us UUs together is our shared commitment to put our highest aspirations into action for the greater good of our siblings and for the planet. If you volunteer at any of the many Hendersonville nonprofit organizations that help bring greater compassion, love, justice, and peace into this community and the world, my guess is that you've worked alongside a UU. And if you haven't met a UU yet in your social justice work, please ask us to partner with you. This commitment to live out what might be our shared theology of love is what I believe makes us one. And that is what is at the heart of the prayer that I would like to share with you today. It was written by Unitarian Universalist minister Marjorie Bowens Wheatley, a colleague that worked tirelessly for progressive social change. The prayer is titled A Litany of Restoration. It's a reminder that when we come together in love and for justice, our differences are not what matter. It's our shared vision and experience of beloved community that matters most. I've adapted some of Bowens Wheatley's language to reflect our current culture and themes. The prayer's refrain, "It will not matter," is one that I invite you to repeat with me. Can we say it now? It will not matter. Okay, let's begin. a litany of restoration. If, recognizing the interdependence of all life, we strive to build community, the strength we gather will be our salvation. If you are black and I am white, it will not matter. If you are female or male and I am non-binary, it will not matter. If you are progressive and I am conservative, it will not matter. If you are straight and I am lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or queer, it will not matter. If you are Christian or Jewish or Muslim or Hindu or Buddhist or Sikh, and I am humanist, atheist, or just not sure, it will not matter. If we join spirits as siblings, the pain of our aloneness will be lessened, and that does matter. In this spirit, we build community and move forward toward restoration. May we be one in spirit. May it be so. Amen.
First of all, I'd like to thank Reverend Deborah for putting this together and asking me to bring my medicine to this, and always recognizing that Reverend Darlene does such a beautiful job of creating an inclusive community. I'm Sharon Oxendine. I am an enrolled member of the Lumbee tribe, which is in the southeastern part of the state. I'm an elder in this community, and I have studied with many indigenous teachers, including the Cherokee teacher Awiakta and the late Dr. Malidoma Somé. My practice that I practice is a combination of indigenous medicine that I've studied with many Lakota people and medicine people across the country, but I also believe in the teachings of Christ. I am a member here at Unity of the Blue Ridge, and I love being a part of this community. I want to share this poem from First Nations woman Linda Hogan. Walking, I am listening to a deeper way. Suddenly, all my ancestors are behind me. Be still, they say, watch and listen. You are the result of the love of thousands. The prayer I'm going to share with you tonight is around my sacred pipe. I was given a pipe when I was 33 years old, very young to come into that calling. It was from the altar of Raymond Stone and Terry Eaton of the Sun Bear tribe. What I'm going to do is put together prayers, bring out the pipe. I won't put the pipe together here, but later on this evening after this presentation, like 20 minutes or so to give you time to meet with some of the other folks, I'm going to go out on the back. If you want to join me, I will put those prayers into the pipe. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and honor the directions with the medicine of the pipe. And my friend Terry has offered to hold the microphone for me. So I'm going to ask if everyone will stand, and we're going to face the east, which is kind of that way behind you. So as we come into the directions and honoring this tobacco that will go into the pipe, we face the east, the place of Wabun, the eagle, and the rising sun. I give much thanks today for Grandfather Eagle, who brings that sun and that warmth and allows us each day to look and begin again. Oh. And if you'll make a turn to the left, you will be facing north. And in this place of north, and Grandmother White Buffalo Calf Woman, who brought this way of praying to us, we're honoring those winds that have been blowing across our land so many days here with the wisdom and the introspection that comes from this place in the north and Grandmother Waboose. Aho. And facing west and the place of the bear, coming into this place and honoring Grandfather Bear as he's coming out of his cave and bringing his dreams, honoring this place for where we will walk when we have finished this life. Aho matakuyasan. And if you'll turn again, you'll be facing south, and we will honor the place of Mother Earth, of Shanadisi, of Heoki medicine, of good and warm winds, of walking on her back with such honor and dignity. Aho. And face again. For all things above, sun, moon, stars, for all things below, Mother Earth, two-leggeds, four-leggeds, creepy crawlers, oceans, rivers, streams, standing ones, winged ones, and for our ancestors, for all of our ancestors, calling on them to continue to walk with us in such a good way, giving such honor to the lands here and the First Nations people who were the first people to walk on this land. Ahoma Takuyasa. Thank you. Thank you.
Shalom, everyone. Shalom, that magical word. Hello, goodbye, peace, all in just one word. And this is a song of shalom, of peace. It's actually a medley with 3 songs. Don't worry, they're very short. And the first song is called Oseh Shalom, which means, blessed are you, God, who created peace in the heavens and now shines the peace for all people in this world. The second is called Lo Yisagoy, and it comes from the Old Testament. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they study war anymore. And the third one is just a fun song of shalom, Hevenu Shalom Aleichem. And if you were a Muslim, you would say Aleichem Salam. So it's basically the same thing in both languages. And each, really quickly, each melody is joined by a melody without any words called a nigun. And the 3 words, you can repeat them after me. I, die, die.
I, die.
And if you join in this, because the melody's pretty easy, they say that if you sing it fervently, you too will ascend to heaven and know the peace of God. Oseh Shalom bimrama, O Yaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, ve'imru amen. Yaseh Shalom, you can clap. Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, hey, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Oh, lai, lai, yai, dai, 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 yai, dai, 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 yai, dai, 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 yai, dai, 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 yai, dai, 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 yai, dai, 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 dai. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yimeldu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmadu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmadu od milchama. Oh, lai, lai, yalla, la, la, lai, lai, yalla, la, la, lai, lai, yalla, la, la, lai. Yalla, yalla, la, la, lai, lai, yalla, la, la, lai, lai, yalla, la, la, lai. Havenu shalom aleichem. Havenu shalom aleichem. Havenu shalom aleichem. Havenu shalom, shalom, shalom aleichem. Oh, lai, lai, yalla, la, la, lai, lai, yalla, la, la, lai, lai, yalla, la, la, lai. Lai, lai, yalla, la, la, lai, lai, yalla, la, la, lai, lai, ya, lai, 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 lai. Shalom.
Now that was very entertaining, wasn't it? It's nothing like someone who gets into their music. And Aaron is very right on target with the words being kind of close in Islam and Arabic. In Islam and Arabic it's salam, which means peace, and we would say assalamu alaikum, which is peace be unto you. My name is Cheryl Brunskill Kujabi, and like everyone else, I want to thank Reverend Deborah for inviting me here this evening. It was well worth the 4-hour drive. I'm very self-conscious of my mouth, so I just have to explain to you all, I'm missing a tooth because it broke off Sunday and I can't get it fixed until Tuesday, so don't think she has this person walking around like this all the time. Okay, thank you. Just don't call me a crackhead, I'm not. Okay, I'll start off by saying, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. And in Arabic, all that is we're just warding off the shaitan. And I ask that Allah forgive me if I say anything wrong, anything that is said right and correct is from Allah, our Lord, and not from myself. As a Muslim, in Salam, it means peace. So in the religion is Islam. In Islam means peace. And Muslim, in which I am, not a Mohammedan, as some people think Mohammedan, I am a Muslim, and that's one who worships Allah and one who submits to the religion of Islam. Also, I just want to say quickly, I'm going to try to talk quick because we only got 5 minutes. I don't know how many minutes I have left, but I'm used to talking fast. I'm from New York, if you can hear my accent a little bit. And also, I'm a retired educator, so I'm used to being quick with the kids as well. My attire tonight is how I go out sometime. This is a tailored-made African dress. It's from the Gambia, which my husband is from. I travel there back and forth. I'm going there on May 29th. My husband and I, we have our own nonprofit organization, and we build schools for the poor children over there. So if you want to talk to me about it after the program, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. We take donations. I have business cards. Okay, so now I got that little spiel out the way. So what I'm going to read from, also I didn't have many, but when we go out and we speak to people about our religion and who we are and our way of life, it's called dawah. It's given dawah to educate the people. And we have these Qur'ans that are all in English that we give away free. So I only have a couple. I have 3 in English, if anyone is interested, the first 3 who come to me, and I have 2 in Spanish. You know, if anybody speaks Spanish, or if you have a student that might can translate. So I'm more than happy to give that away. So what I'm going to read is an surah, well, not such a surah. The surah means chapter, just like in the Bible you have chapters, or any books chapters. Surah in Arabic means chapter, and then the ayat, which is the verse I'm going to read, and it's from the chapter of Al-Hujurat, which is Surah 49 and chapter 13. And let me explain another thing too, is the reason why we speak in Arabic, because we believe Allah tells us that this is a very, if you really listen to a real, Islam is not an Arab religion. There's Muslims from all over the world, okay? And Arabic was chosen, we believe was chosen by God because it's such a smooth flowing language. And we can all relate, no matter whether you're from China, Indonesia, Gambia in Africa, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, anywhere, Canada, that everything that we learn in our religion is Arabic, and so that's how we can communicate with one another, and we know our prayers in it. So I will read this ayat. It says, "O you people, we have created you from a male and a female and made you into nations and tribes that you may know each other. The best among you is the most pious." Okay, and so to go on, and then we close that out by saying, Sadaqah Allah Azim, which means that may Allah bless what has been read. Islam did not come to break the ties between human beings, to spread hatred and enmity, or to encourage bloodshed, nor did it come to eliminate the freedom of choice in this life, which is secured by God. Indeed, even Satan was granted the freedom to choose between obeying and disobeying his Lord. He misused this gift and chose to disobey. The above basic rule is based on the fact that Allah has distinguished humankind in the jinn. The jinn is beings that we don't see that can be good or bad, just like angels. If you believe in angels, if we believe in angels, we have to believe in jinns as well. Allah has distinguished humankind in the jinn with special gifts that made them accountable for their choices in this life, for which they will be rewarded or punished mainly in the hereafter. Among these special gifts are intellectual faculties, divine guidance, and a limited freedom of choice. So I chose this verses to show that, to dispel that Muslims believe in bloodshed. Allah doesn't say that. He said the breaking down of this is that he created us all from male and female. I think that's pretty much true, right? Okay. And he made us into nations and tribes that you may know each other. He made us into nations and tribes that we may know each other. And I think that's pretty much of what we are doing here tonight. We come from many nations and tribes, and we are coming to know each other. So it's not to say to fight one another because you're not Muslim, you're not Christian, you're not Hindu, or you're not Buddhist. He says he has made us into many nations and tribes that we may know each other. And I will end on that note. Thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Gail Ray, and I serve here at Unity on the board as secretary and also on the Habitat team. When I was around 40 and living in Los Angeles, I asked Jesus to help me understand his teachings. And not long after that, I was introduced to Siddha Yoga. Siddha Yoga is a spiritual practice from India. And this was truly one of the greatest blessings in my life. I learned that God dwells within here. And before that, I always thought God was out here. So to me, knowing now that God is within me, that I am the divine, is huge. So tonight we're talking about oneness. On this path, I have been blessed to have a teacher, Guru Mai, Chidvilasananda. In the book, Resonate with Stillness, she says this about oneness. When you experience oneness with the great seer, the flame merges into the flame. The water merges into the water. You merge with your own self. When the state of the witness is attained, all the samskaras, all the past impurities, are nothing more than burned seeds. Then you live freely, truly independent. On this path, I have learned many practices, and I'd like to share two of them with you tonight. One is meditation, and the other is service, seva, selfless service. So meditation, turning within, stilling the mind. We're drawn into the presence of God. My experience is that I am refreshed and renewed, and old tendencies, samskaras, that don't serve me fall away. I'm lighter. I feel more love for myself and others, more joy, more contentment. So let's take a moment together and explore meditation. So if you're comfortable, close your eyes. Take a breath in and breathe out. And again, breathe in and breathe out. Pull within and soften into the heart. Let yourself feel the presence of the divine in the heart center. It may feel like a softening, love, spaciousness, a sense of being in the flow. Now see light there, divine light. Let the light grow and expand. Again, it might feel like spaciousness, stillness, softness. Now imagine this light within everyone. We are all one light. This light connects and supports us. You can open your eyes. Do you feel this connection? This divine oneness. Another way that I experience connection is through serving. So, you know how we all like to show up as our best self, right? Well, recently I attended my high school reunion. I know. And the first night, I remember feeling like I was wanting something. I was wanting to be liked. I was wanting to be approved of. And this wanting didn't feel good. So when I got back to my room, I prayed on it and I asked to transcend it. And what I heard was this, to ask, how may I serve? How may I serve? So the next night at the dinner, I asked, how may I serve? And it felt so different. I really felt connected to the divine. And I really felt that I was observing, I was supporting, I was loving. And I had some really sweet interactions with my fellow classmates. And I'm very grateful for those interactions. So now when I go about my day, I like to ask, how may I serve? And I find it really does make a difference. It's as though I'm taking myself out of the hands of the ego and I'm placing myself in the hands of the divine. I honor our oneness. May we serve the light together. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Minister Compton Childs Tucker. On the program, you see my pastor, who is Prelate Apostle Dr. Dwelle J.L. He is under the weather tonight. So I am representing Agape World Outreach Ministries, and we're located here in Hendersonville. And I am just excited about being here tonight. And thank you, Reverend DeBoer. I am excited because we are all one. We are all one. We are all spiritual beings. And we all believe of a supreme being. And so I'd like to talk about my supreme being, who is the Father. He is Yahweh. And agape, what agape stands for is unconditional love, God's unconditional love. And that's what our ministry is about. When you come to Agape World Outreach, where love is priority, you will receive love with open arms and non-judgmental people. We love everyone. It doesn't matter your color, your creed, your denomination, your religion. We love as God has called us to love. So we come in the spirit of grace, unity, and the bond of peace. And I am excited to be here this evening, again, as I've stated. And unity is for all of us. There's so many things going on in this world, and we need to show love to everyone. There's so many people in darkness. We need to show love, no matter what they're doing or who they are or what they've done. God forgives each and every one of us. So from Ephesians chapter 4, verses 2 through 6, which reads, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another in love, being diligent to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, just as you also were called in one hope of your calling. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all. National Day of Prayer is, we celebrate this day, but we need to pray daily for one another, that we will love one another, run with patience, non-judgmental, but show love. The way we defeat sin is to show love, show that light of God within us, that He has called us to be. So as I end, I say this. I love you all, no matter what religion or creed you are part of. God is love, and I love you all. Amen.
All right, everybody stand up. Up. Now spin around once. Now sit down. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. And then you say Jai Baba. Who here knows anything about Meher Baba? Good. We have some returning veterans. I came to Meher Baba in 2007 when I visited his retreat center in Myrtle Beach. And I actually had a vision of Baba without knowing who he was. My wife got us there, wrote the letter, and reserved the room. And we got there late. It was raining. We fell asleep. And in the middle of the night, I was jolted awake. And I turned over, and there was a person in the room. I thought it was Susanna. It wasn't. I got up to go over, and the person turned around, and I swear to God, it was Frank Zappa. And then my wife calls me from the bathroom saying, "What are you doing?" And I said, "But you're over." And he was gone. And the next morning, when we woke up, we went and get our breakfast at the refectory where we make the breakfast food. And I was saying to Susanna, there were pictures on the wall. I said, "That's the guy in the room." And somebody heard me say that, and I became the guy that saw Baba. Now, Meher Baba was born in 1896, and he roamed the earth until 1969. And in that time, he garnered about 100 million followers in India and Persia. He was the embodiment of the God-man, the seventh incarnation of the Christ, starting with Zoroaster, going through Buddha, Christ, Muhammad, Baba. And he lived his life in such devout, divine presence, he didn't speak for 44 years. Not one word left his mouth. And he would say in his writings that God has spoken enough, and you never listened. So I'll live it for you. And he went through the rest of his life living that truth of love and service. Now, he's written 10 different books, and I have this one here that I brought up here with me because there's quotes in here from his discourses and his darshans. He would do meetings with 10, 20,000 people and give each person a little piece of candy and bless their lives. And in every case, someone would walk up to him and he would already know who you were because he's God. Everyone is Baba. Everything is Baba. All else is zero. There is no other. Remember me so often that your mind is at a loss to find other thoughts to feed on. Speak lovingly, think lovingly, and act lovingly towards all mankind. Don't let little things disturb you. Rise above them all. And finally, I'm at 410, 411, 412. I'm going to stretch this out. I got 45 seconds, so. I am God in human form. If you make me your real father, all your problems will become dissolved in the ocean of my love. Baba was said to be pure human love in a divine form. When he died, his body was entombed, and that tomb still is worshiped by 100 million people across the earth. There are still people that walk the earth that touch the hem of his garment that still are here today, and you can meet them, you can talk to them, you can read their books. They knew the man, he was here, and he was Christ. He was Buddha. He was Zoroaster. He was Muhammad. And he is you. And ladies and gentlemen, the good Reverend.
Namaste. I recognize as Deborah Ojis Satyagraha. Deborah is my given name. Ojis is my legal name. And Satyagraha is my chosen name. Deborah came from the book of Judges in the Bible. She was a prophetess and a warrior. Satyagraha means reliance on truth. So I am a prophetess and warrior woman who relies on truth. I am a New Thought minister and a lifetime student of metaphysical science. Meta underneath the physical, that which is really going on. I am currently serving as support minister of diversity enrichment here at the beautiful, wonderful, fabulous Unity of the Blue Ridge. Well, my truth is the dedication and belief in oneness. The understanding that we are all one, that we are all an individual expression of the divine power. My truth is that we each choose to express our divinity in different ways through our faiths, religions, and belief systems. We can no longer buy into the divisiveness of separateness. We can no longer allow ourselves to embrace the otherness. We are each being called to exist in a higher state of consciousness, to walk on a higher plane of consciousness, in strength and power together as one power. One power, one power, one power that is love in you and me. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Bahalua, Hashim, or Heaven's Door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth or Father Time. Whatever name you decide to give it. It's one power, can't you see? It's the power of love that is in you and me. Because love is the highest vibration in the universe. Agape love, unconditional love, universal love, that oneness love, that love without ego, that love without judgment, that love that is the supreme love, which is in you and me. So I want you to take a deep breath. and lower your eyes. I want you to feel that power of love as it wells up and resonates within your body. Now allow it to reach out into the room and connect to the love of everyone around you. Connect to the flow of the one love principle. Taking a deep breath and exhale. Exhale and sit in this state. Just sit in this state and see the differences were never meant to be. One power, one power, one power of love. One power of love. One power of love. You are in the flow of the universal consciousness of oneness. You are the supreme universal consciousness that flow in and out of all things. You are love. So you go forth today and every day standing in your power of divinity. Embrace your oneness. Know your divine self. Now taking a deep cleansing breath, exhale, open your eyes, and know who you really are. One power. So I thank you. Namaste. Because I see the divinity in each and every one of you. Because we're one power. Thank you. Now, if we could have our ushers come up. And I want to thank everyone for joining us and bringing your heart, your mind, your body, and your soul with you. We're taking up an offering for the I Am Ministries. And so, as generously as you can, we're giving to the food bank of the I Am Ministries.
Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious. Held up to the light. Every heart connected. Each the face of God. Grace has shown me that every step is holy. Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious when held up to the light. Every heart connected, each the face of God. Grace has shown me that every step is holy. Holy, holy, everyone, every breath, every step is holy. Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious when held up to the light. Every heart connected, each the face of God. Grace has shown me that every step is holy. Every step is holy.
Sarah Core, would you show her your appreciation? That was beautiful. It was beautiful. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight. And this was just absolutely amazing. What a beautiful group, beautiful heart, beautiful love, beautiful presentation. Thank you. Would you please stand? And if you're comfortable doing so, join the hand of one near you. And if that's not comfortable for you, that's quite all right. Just maybe extend your hand up a little bit. Let's just close our eyes in a closing prayer. And perhaps the most powerful prayer we can ever pray together is, thank you. Thank you. We give thanks to this life, this one spirit that animates all, known by many names and yet truly defined by none. Each and every one are an expression of all that is. And so we say thank you. We give thanks for the hearts, for the openness, for the love that has been expressed tonight. We give thanks for what we have learned, how we have been opened, how we have been encouraged, how we have been shown love and called more deeply into our own experience of that. For by whatever name we call the divine, it is surely love. And for this, again, together we say, thank you. Thank you. Now I want to invite you in closing to lift your voice together in a song that I think most of you are going to know, This Little Light of Mine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere we go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This great light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
This great light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This great light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Last line. Let it shine, let it shine. Let